Rancid 93, as it's been called, was released on May 10th, 1993, Epitaph Records. Okay, here's the facts. Tim Armstrong, Matt Freeman, Brett Reed. That's the lineup. It's the only Rancid album not to feature Lars Frederiksen, who joined the band prior to the album's release. A music video was made for the track Hyena. It's 16 songs, and it clocks in at 34 minutes and 15 seconds. So, Marc, let's talk about Rancid 93. What's your thoughts on this album?
It's dirty. It's fast. Just a solid punch to the eardrum. This record's so great. Like, there's legitimately not a bad song on it. It's so fucking good. This record's so good.
I love this record.
It's one of those things, and it's crazy. Lars is such a figure later on in the records, right? He really adds this balance to them.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. You get Tim and Matt singing both on this record. I'm one of those guys. I don't have a problem with Matt singing. I know it's a problem for a lot of people. But I think hey, look, he's, if Tim's got a rough voice, Matt's got, a chainsaw for a voice. But look, his songs are all really well written, all really heartfelt. And it adds this level of everyman to Rancid. And you really feel that with the first record. This is one of those albums that makes you go, I can be in a really awesome punk band, even if you don't deserve to be. Right? Matt Freeman is hands down top 2 or 3 bassists on the fucking planet.
Oh, absolutely. And
alive or dead.
Totally.
Yeah. So when I say like, Matt Freeman can do it, so can you. No. Matt Freeman can sing some songs, and so can you. You can't necessarily play bass the way he does, but God damn it, try, because he's amazing. And if you can compare yourself to him, you're doing yourself an injustice, because that dude shreds in no way that you can.
Oh, it's amazing. What would you have to say is your favorite tracks from this album? And if you had to, maybe some of the ones you could do without. I mean, I don't like to say least favorite, but just maybe on the lower tier.
So for my favorite tracks, and proof pudding that Matt Freeman is one of the greatest bass players of all time, Rejected. That song absolutely shreds. It's all the energy, all the punks, all the angst, everything you want in a great song. Just really awesome. And then, this one for me, least favorite's the best way to describe it, because this song is awesome, or the album is awesome, excuse me. But Out of My Mind, not a bad song. It's just, we've got 15 other songs that all just absolutely dominate. This is the one that I felt did the least, but not in a bad way. I am in no way saying that this is a bad song. In fact, if I could leave it out, I wouldn't have picked it. In fact, I do that later on. So I tried really hard to be fair, because I know a lot of people want to say that, I'm only saying that because it's finally a band I like. No, like I'm going to be critical of this band. No Sacred Cows. This fucking album rocks, and I'll fight anybody over it.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. So, listen, Lars joins the band, he's on the album, but what's cool about this record is there's no hints of Op Ivy at all. No ska. I mean, this album is blistering with its fast, gritty sounding songs about Tim's desperate times in his life. I mean, even the songs that are lightning fast, you could just feel his experiences. At one time, the time before Life Won't Wait, I actually considered this my favorite Rancid album of all time. I mean, tracks like Hyena, Detroit, Rats in a Hallway, Another Night, Animosity, Union Blood. I mean, some of my favorite Rancid tunes, especially like some tracks just creep up on you. Like Another Night, I remember one time just years ago, I was listening to it. I'm like, this is a damn good song, man. If there has to be a complaint on the album, of course, Matt Freeman's vocals. Listen, as we said, he's one of the best bass players of all time. I really wish he wouldn't sing sometimes as often as he does, but this is before Lars, so I give it a pass. Overall, I think this is a very impressive debut outing of an album that I think gets massively overlooked in their catalog. My favorite tracks: Hyena, Detroit, Another Night, Union Blood. Least favorite, if I had to leave one out, it'd be like Whirlwind, something like that.
Yeah, fair enough. And that's the tough thing on this, right? Like, you know, when you've got a record you love, it's hard to pick songs that you don't feel really fit the bill. But this is a tough one, man. This is a really tough one.
It's such a good record. So, and again, just very, very overlooked in their catalog.